What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be breaking down for you a sparring session with one of my training partners. He's an MMA fighter. He is also a purple belt, so 2 purple belts going at it right here in a friendly rolling session. Let's get right into it. We're both in the standing position, and MMA fighters typically have a really good double leg, single leg combination, which is something that I have keeping in mind. So I'm going to start to pull guard here, looking to advance from the floor. And as you see, David's working some good angling, trying to out-angle me, looking for ways to dynamic pass. And me, I'm using my frames on his shoulder and wrist so that way I can maintain the distance and prevent him from closing the space. As you can see here, I have an arm drag grip, trying to come up on it, but I wasn't able to consolidate as he did a good job posting on my shoulder. So now we start from square one again, looking to make connections on David here from the open guard. Okay, now one of the challenges here that you guys will notice, especially if you try to roll with MMA fighters, wrestlers, it can be a challenging thing to get them to engage in your guard, which is a great way to increase the skills of your guard entirely. So somebody that's always disengaging like so, it's going to be a great way to work on developing a dangerous guard. As you can see here, he looked to get a knee on belly, but I was able to collect the leg into a half guard and look to start inverting underneath. Okay, now as you can see, as I start to invert underneath, David will begin to push my legs away as he goes into a seated position. But if you notice, as he went into a seated position, that's when I was able to heist up and bring my hips higher than his, which ultimately allowed me to consolidate the sweep. Now that I'm on top, I look to control both ankles, making sure that he stays on bottom. Because one thing that you guys notice is if you ever, sweep somebody who doesn't want to be on bottom, they're going to fight really hard to get back on top. So one thing that I did was control the 2 ankles, making sure that I bring those feet above his head level, which then makes it hard for him to heist back up and stand up. And now that I'm in top position, I'm able to start bearing pressure and bearing weight on David's Z-guard here as he continues to try to trap my leg and look to set up a guard. As you can see here, my whole goal is trying to collect the hips and get through the knee shield. In this scenario, I'm controlling the hips. I'm pinning my shin on his knee with the inside butterfly hook here. And now I'm looking to force a half guard situation where I clear the top knee. As you can see, the whole goal here is trying to get chest to chest and clearing his elbow wedges. Once I get chest to chest, I'm really confident that I can start bearing pressure on him, which then allows me to start passing his frames and getting into side control or even mount. In this case scenario, since I passed his guard and got to the side control with a strong chest to chest pin, this forced David to go to the turtle position, turning towards me because obviously he doesn't want to get pinned. Right? Now he does this to ultimately hopefully look to recover his guard, but in the way he turned to turtle, I was able to put my hook in and take the back here. As you can see, I only have 1 hook in, so now the goal is to try to bring him over to the other side so I can get my hook in. Okay, as you can see, I'm bringing him over to the other side, turning him on his side, and now from here I'm getting my leg free with this seatbelt grip that I have here. I'm looking to just keep a chest to back connection while at the same time making sure that his hips stay in between my knees. This is very crucial when it comes to maintaining back control in general. It's extremely important to maintain your training partner's hips in between your knees. Now, as you can see here, I threw in one of my hooks and fell to the weak side. And now the whole goal here is I have my 2 hooks in and I have my seatbelts in, as you can see. Right, so one thing that David is doing a really good job of is clearing my hooks off. So as you can see, I continue having to reset by bringing him up off the ground and making sure that I put my hooks in again and again and again. Now David just did a great job clearing my hooks, turning away from me. But one thing I'm able to do is continue to chase by maintaining a chest to back connection and maintaining his hips in between my knees. One thing that you guys need to keep in mind, that as you guys are chasing the back, trying to stay on the back, as long as you can maintain these connections, the job of you maintaining someone's back control will be a lot easier. Now, as this is happening, I'm always looking to climb his hips to see if I can trap arms. Davis does a really good job of keeping his elbows high. Now, as you can see here, I was able to threaten a rear naked strangle by bringing in my elbow all the way in. And if you notice, in a position like that, there was a mini battle. So let's take a look here. With my left hand, I'm controlling a cross grip on his wrist, which allows me to thread my right arm all the way through to the neck and just hold on to his shoulder. Now, as this is happening, there's a little hand fight battle here. All I did was just take his hand off of my wrist, lock in a rear naked choke grip. Now, once I had this rear naked choke grip, one thing I was able to do from here is notice that both of his hands were on my choking arm, which then made the process of putting in my top hook extremely easy. So all I did, put in my top hook, and now I have both my hooks in and a rear naked choke grip in, and from there it's extremely difficult for David to defend in that position. All right, so let's keep going here with the narration. Come up, standing position, collar ties, look to take his collar tie off with a Russian thigh. Now from here I look to get some foot sweep action, maintain the distance with my hand, being aware that David might shoot at any moment of this time, with my right hand getting ready to down block. Now from here I anticipate the sprawl, and as this is happening, David sits to guard, and I'm able to concede top position. Now from here, same strategy. I'm pummeling in my left shin as a butterfly hook and maintaining my chest above his chest. Now from here, once I catch an underhook with my right hand, it becomes just a slow process of me bringing my knees on the inside of his legs to collapse his frames, go around his guard, and look to get chest to chest. Now from here, we get a nice strong pin with the near side underhook on the right arm, and now I get an underhook on the left. Now as this is happening, David knows that I'm getting closer and closer to a stronger position, where I'm advancing my position, for example, going from side control to mount. And in scenarios like these, David will rather go to turtle position, look to perform sit-outs, and recover his guard. Now in scenarios like these, this is when collecting your seatbelt, maintaining chest-to-back connection is more important than ever. Because as he tries to go away from me, it can be a hard thing for me to stay on top of him if I don't maintain a connection. As you can see there, my point exactly, he was able to continue to spin away from me since I didn't maintain a chest-to-back connection, and he was able to recover his guard from there, as you can see. Now, as he recovers his guard, I waste no time staying low, applying my weight, and making sure that there's not a lot of space in between us. From this position, I'm working a body lock pass, trying to step over knees, clearing his shins, maintaining my hands connected. Now, as this is happening, I'm looking to sprawl one leg back and bring both of my knees on one side of his shin, like so. Once I get both of my knees on one side of his shin, I keep my head nice and close to his shoulder. Now from here, I can start looking to pass, stepping over legs, making sure that I stay nice and smashed all over his Z guard. As you can see here, I'm working a lot of pummeling until I can get a nice pass like so. As you can see here, he starts to turtle away, but this time I'm able to get a nice strong seatbelt, maintaining a chest-to-back connection. Now all I have to do is make sure that his hips stay in between mine. Now I do this with a series of heists and propping myself back up every time he starts to get up. Because I have to remember the key core elements of good back control is making sure that my knees stay on the outside of his hips. If I can maintain this guideline, I can throw in hooks pretty easily, just like I did just now. Now I have 2 hooks in and a seatbelt grip where I can now start threatening strangles and look to strangle like so. As you see there, the time went out and the roll is over, but nonetheless, that was our roll with a MMA fighter, my good friend David, and it's always a tough round because it's just so hard to submit him. If you guys have someone like this in your gym who's, like hard to engage with, especially from the guard position, this is going to make sure that you develop a really strong and offensive guard, right? So as you saw in the beginning of the match, it was really challenging for me to get things going from bottom position, but it encouraged and enforced me to become offensive with my guard rather than, reactive, right? If someone's moving away from me, I am now forced to create offense by employing techniques such as, arm drags or getting underneath my opponent or looking to invert underneath, making me more proactive. I hope you guys were able to derive some value from this narrated roll with my good friend. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you like this, share with your friends, guys, or let me know if you have any questions about any particular techniques, back retention, guard retention, sweeps, submissions, guard passing, whatever you like, guys. Let me know. Thanks so much for watching. Os!